Hey, on top of it all, hey, check this out. I was just on the phone with my homie, and we was talking about a situation where he got a lady that he's invested in, and then he likes her, but he feels as if she doesn't respect him. And so I asked him, I said, well, why do you say that? And he said, well, because, she doesn't really spend too much time with me. She's always worried about work and, so on and so forth. So I said, well, do you try and find or make time or try to communicate with her so that, you and her can have a safe place for you and her to build? And he was like, no. And so, because I know the individual that I'm speaking on, he really doesn't do anything. He doesn't really have motion. And I was trying to tell him, like, you have a really great woman, right? And although you don't have that much motion, I think you take advantage of uh, her kindness and her being down for you. You know, um, you know, most of the times, I know a lot of women that allow niggas that really don't mean them any good to destroy their the essence of them being a great individual or a great woman. And then after dealing with that individual, they'll move on and they'll move with caution. And when you do things like that, you allow a person to steal your sunshine, right? Um, a lot of these niggas are not worth anything, you know. And I know a lot of women that allow individuals to manipulate them with love. And when I say manipulate them with love, I don't mean like genuine love. It'd be the things that make a woman smile. But genuinely, that individual is really not for that woman, right? That individual is just playing until he's tired or he's bored, and then he's gonna move on, and then you're gonna be mad, and you're gonna find another guy that may be your future, right? Maybe your husband, but you'll tell him that you want to take time because you want to get to know him, and you don't want to show your emotions because it's like it's emotional intelligence. If a man dates a woman and he's trying to get to know a person, but the woman's not trying to give him any emotional intelligence, then it's like there's no connection. There's just us conversing as friends. And if there's no connection, then the man can't feel complete and the man can't feel whole. So what you do is you can still show uh, love and affection, but there's different levels of the love and affection. You don't have to go all in with them, but a man has to see or feel emotional intelligence. He has to feel like he's connected to you through emotions. This is the things that keep men in tune. Men have a short attention span when it comes to women. A man can be loving on a woman, and the woman can be like, I just want to take it slow. To a man, it's like, take it slow. Cool. That just gives a nigga time to date you, but it also entertain other women. And then you can't really ask for much because you're telling him to take it slow. So he can always give you half of him. So you never want a man to give half of you, or him, should I say. You want him to always give all of him. So if he gives all of him, then you know who he is and who you're dating from the beginning. That way, you're not caught up with the courting. Because I hear a lot of times women say that they want a man to court them, but it's like you're basically telling a man that you want him to tell you or show you or sell you a lie. Because most of the times when a man courts you, that's really not who he is. And if you have to tell a man to court you, 9 out of 10 times that's not who he is. That's who he would like to be. But at the moment, he may not be that individual. He's just doing these things to gain your attention, to gain your respect, to gain your time, and trust. So the moment that you do allow him to court and you get your attention, he fucks 2, 3 times. Now he's not really that interested. Why? Because it was built off of courting. And now you're in love with this individual, or you like him a lot, But he's not, because he's never been emotionally invested, because you didn't give him your all. You didn't give him your emotions. You just gave him conversation. So because you didn't give him emotions, you gave him conversation, he's not invested in you. Y'all fuck. 9 out of 10 times after the second, third fuck, he's gonna move on. So now you're in love because you wanted him to court. He courted, and in return, he gained your trust and your love and your emotions, but he's not emotionally invested now. So he's gonna leave. So I don't think that it's a man's fault, right? I think that it's just doing it backwards. It's going about it wrong. It's, once again, emotional intelligence. You should have emotional intelligence when you're dating anyone. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be scared, especially when you're like in your 30s and 40s and 50s. You, to me, at your grown ass age, you should already know what you want. So showing emotions should be simple. You know what I mean? Like, we're grown. We're grown. We're like, who doesn't show their emotions? You know? You should first and foremost be dating someone that you're invested in. You know what I mean? I want to date someone that I'm invested in, not someone that I want to see. And then when I'm speaking, conversing with a woman, and she tells me we'll see, I'm like, oh shit, she don't see my value. Because that's what it all breaks down to, value. If you had a nigga that you loved and you are not loved, but a nigga you seen and you was like, oh my gosh, this nigga looks so good, you wouldn't run him through different angles and ups and downs. Why? Because you were afraid of losing him. So if a woman tells me we should take it slow, or anything other than let's do it, I don't even want to entertain that. You know what I mean? Because I'm too dope for that. And my value is way higher than you telling me some shit like I'm an option. Because I'm not. Right? I'm not an option. So don't allow these niggas to steal your joy, steal your sunshine. You know what I mean? Because niggas will. And I see too many women that are great women, like beautiful individuals inside and out, let a nigga do them wrong, fuck them over, and then now she's broken. I was talking to one of my homegirls the other day. She told me that she went back to the nigga that was doing her dirty, that left her for another woman, that took her money and spent it on another woman. But she's back with him. And I'm like, well, how did you get there? Because the dating scene is so fucked up. If you got a nigga right now that he's loving you and he's showing you that he loves you, you should hang on to that man. Especially if it's an individual that has great qualities. Now, I'm not saying go fuck with no fuck nigga, a nigga that shows you every time he can, any chance he gets, that he doesn't respect you. Okay? The time is up. It's time for us as an individual of people, which being the gods of the land, we got to stand on business. So, men, you got to stand the fuck up. And the women, you got to stand the fuck up. And we owe a lot to the women. A man needs a woman. A man needs a woman. The same way that a woman needs a man. But it's imperative. It's imperative that a man gets a woman that is his mate, his equal. 85% of billionaires are married. So what does that tell you? Let's get to the business. I love y'all all. You already know it's Norris Rashawn, the business, as well the beautiful one. Support my channel. You know, like, share, comment. I'm here. I'm going to keep coming, bringing this content, giving y'all my mind. And I really technically don't give a fuck about the views. So don't think it's about the views, because I already understand I'm the black sheep. But eventually the black sheep becomes the goat. So you know how that go. The first shall be last, the last shall be first. Fuck with your boy. I love y'all. Peace.